first thing I want to get into is the Steam machine. We're gonna see how this thing goes. Now, I wanted to talk about this when it first dropped, when it first came out. I just did not have a video for it at the time, but we here now, and we got rumors that it was a possible leak, and they are going to reveal the price. So here's this article, PC Games. Let me see if I can find that price. So when the Steam machine was announced just a few months ago, a lot of the hype around it was deservedly because of the amazing looking hardware and the knowledge that SteamOS would make for an incredible living room gaming PC experience. However, a great deal of that excitement was also due to the hope that Valve might release the Steam machine at a price that would rival game consoles. However, a new Steam machine rumor suggests that won't be the case. Now, when I heard that this first dropped in like late November, maybe it was like early November, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We got an actual Steam console. You don't need a PC. And I know this is like a easier transition from console to PC. Like if you don't want a PC, if you think that's a more complicated device, this is a tier below that, and that's an easy next step. And this can be a lot of good for families. If you have it set up in the living room, you got a whole bunch of Steam games. And Steam games, you know, Steam always go on sale. They just recently had a winter sale, which was crazy. We're talking about 80, 90% off, 70% off on games. But the Steam machine would be super dope. I mean, I'm all in. Not all in. I'm all for them making a device like this because it helps the people that aren't too familiar with the PC to get into something like this, and it's easier for the pockets. So I thought. So let's read into what the pricing of this may be. Despite this rumor, we still expect the Steam machine to be one of the best gaming PC options available when it lands later this year. You just might want to temper your expectations on how big a dent it will make in your bank balance. So the Steam machine price rumor comes from a Czech tech retailer called Smarty, which posted a listing for the new device on its website. While no price is shown on the site, Reddit sleuth not reading that name, spotted that there's a price listed in the page's code. The Redditor's post reveals that the Steam machine price on this listing is $950 for the 512 gigabyte model and $1,070 USD for the 2 terabyte model. Checking ourselves, these prices still appear in the code, with the company seemingly in no rush to remove it. So that's a lot of money for a 512 gigabyte. That's $950. Now, if for the parents who are not super tech savvy and their kid is like, yo, mom, I want this Steam machine, they're gonna go to their retail store and they're gonna be like, all right, how much is the Steam machine? $1,000. They're gonna be looking at you crazy, like, I'm not spending $1,000 on a console. The PlayStation 5 is $500, I believe. Xbox recently raised their prices, so we're not even gonna talk about them. But I love the idea, but the Steam machine, in my opinion, should be around $700, $750. Because with this, you might as well just buy a PC. Now it's going to be super low tier, but I think that's what the goal is. If you want a low tier thing like this, then get a Steam machine. It's going to do everything you need to. So as high as these prices are, they're in line with the price levels that I predicted around the time of its reveal. That's because in terms of raw hardware costs, estimates put the Steam machine at costing over $500. Once you add in all the other costs associated with actually bringing a product to market at a profit, you're looking at a $700 machine. So like I said, $700, $800, and that's that sweet spot. But if you're thinking about more, more data, more space, that's when you're going to get into the terabyte models, and that's when it's going to be in the close to 1,000 range, 900 range. But realistically, I don't see the typical middle class family getting something like this. This is for if you are true, or if you're into it like that, if you really into it like that, then by all means get it. But know what you're getting into with these prices, because this is insane. So let me see. Actually, I don't know if they came out with any of the features. So your games on the big screen. With over 6 times the horsepower of Steam Deck, Steam Machine has the power to play your whole Steam library, including your favorite AAA games. Alright, so it has Steam OS, small form factor, little box, which looks cool and quiet. CPU 4K gaming at 60 FPS with FSR. So that was a thing that I was curious about too. What's this power looking like? If I'm buying an $800, $900 machine, it better be as powerful as my PC. But this is for the home. Storage, we already talked about that. Power, no giant brick. Steam Machine's power supply is built right in. Super dope. So there's an LED strip. And at the same time, it's still a PC. So you can, it's still a computer. Like you can, just how like I'm using my PC, you can switch that out for the Steam Machine or the Steam box. So it's good. It's good, but I need to know if this is really gonna sell. If it's really going to sell, because they came out with the Xbox ROG, and that was like $1,000 for that handheld. And they said the sales was good, but it was like, how many did y'all put out? I don't think a lot of people was checking for that too crazy like that. And I don't know if they're gonna do the same for this. Now I'm gonna be out on the lookout. It would be nice to have. But we will see. We will see. That was another thing I wanted to talk about with this machine too. Oh, what's the controller? What's the controller looking like? So this controller, I do not like. I don't know what these are, probably the touch pads. It's similar to an Xbox controller or PS1 controller, because you got the L1, L2. But okay. Okay. Well, cool. Yeah, if y'all already knew about this, then I'm already saying stuff you already know. I'm just now diving into it, and these prices are definitely going to be the obstacle. Because if y'all are looking to put this out, y'all are competing with the PS5 and the PS5 and the Xbox. But PS5 is winning. PlayStation is winning. So y'all let me know what y'all think of the Steam Machine. Is this a good idea for Valve to put out? Is this good for people who are interested in getting into PC, but this is like a baby step, which is good for them, because I feel like this machine is like an all-around thing? Or do y'all think this is a waste of money and y'all could just go and get a PC, or like an actual bigger PC or a Switch? So I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with it. But them prices, I'm not.